I'm going to go through TikToks that lie about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and I'm going to count the views of each TikTok, so by the end of this video we'll be able to get a glimpse of how widespread the lies are. Let's jump right in. So Israel is allegedly testing nuclear bomb in Gaza tonight? Okay, this is just of course a complete crazy lie. They would never mass murder 2 million people. But besides for that, Israel is just a tiny place right next to Gaza, and dropping a nuclear bomb would ruin them as well. It's literally a suicide bomb. Okay, that's 8.2 thousand views. Let's move on to Bernie Sanders is a Zionist. Really?
Organization began this terrible war with its barbaric October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel. Clearly, Israel, as any other country that was so attacked, had the right to defend itself against Hamas.
We are 19 months into a genocide that Bernie Sanders refuses to recognize. Today he said this in the Senate. Bernie Sanders is not our savior. He is the Democrats' sheepdog trying to corral us back into the party.
Wow.
So we say to ourselves, you know, there are actually some decent Democrats we can stand behind. There isn't. Bernie Sanders is a Zionist scumbag.
Wow, that's a very strong language. It's funny that he doesn't mention in that exact same speech, Bernie also said what's happening is a war crime.
What is going on right now in Gaza is a war crime committed openly and in broad daylight.
So what, Bernie is a so-called Zionist scumbag for even condemning it on October 7th? Either that's what this TikToker meant, or he just took this video completely out of context. I think I'm going to count this in. So that's another 61,300 views. So now if we add it all up together, we're just under 70,000 views.
Saudi Arabia has now banned all public displays of support for Palestine.
Let's stop and check this up. Okay, the only news website that talks about this is a random website which says Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has reportedly issued a ban on all public displays of support for Palestine. Okay, so one random website says this reportedly happened. We can hardly take that to be true. I think we're gonna have to count this one. So this video has 491,000 views. So altogether that's on 560,000. Okay, let's move on to the next clip. Trump recognizes.
And I heard
Palestine
Trump
as a
is
state.
about to recognize Palestine as a state. How is that possible? Not in a million years I would have thought that. Hey, yo, that's crazy.
Okay, well, let's check this out. According to the Jewish Chronicle, the US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, has rejected a report by the Jerusalem Post citing a Gulf diplomatic source saying that the President Donald Trump is set to declare a US recognition of a Palestinian state. Okay, so basically there was a rumor about this, but it got shut down. For this guy in the TikToker, this guy in the TikTok, to say he's heard Trump is about to recognize Palestine as a state is definitely an exaggeration. Is it a complete lie? No, we won't count it in. Let's not count it in.
This just in, the Chinese government has now announced that
Israel's
if Israel does not remove their forces from Syria and Lebanon and from the surrounding regions, that they will and may and will take action.
They may and will take action. That sounds like China is willing to fight Israel. That sounds like, that's what it sounds like from that TikTok. But in fact, that's a complete misrepresentation. What they actually said, and I'm going to quote word for word, is that China urges Israel to withdraw from Syria and Lebanon without delay. The political transition in Syria is at a critical stage. That's what they said. They're not threatening anyone. That definitely has to be added to the misinformation pile. And that's somehow, this video somehow got 1.3 million views somehow. So that's altogether now 1.8 million. Okay. Chinese aircraft breaks through Israeli blockade. Okay, it looks like they're dropping food. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's food. Yeah, that's definitely food then. Okay, there's another video it seems like. Thank you, China. Thank you, China. Help God for helping Gaza. Best spelling or grammar. Okay, so that's it as well again. Okay, so both these videos went super viral, and the people in the comments started to give China huge compliments for, breaking through Israel's blockade and dropping aid into Gaza. So one commenter said, "China respect button." Another said, "I swear China is better than all the Arab countries." Another said, "China sends food and water. America sends threats and annihilation." So, this is cool, but there happens to be just one small problem. All of this is a total lie. It's total rubbish. China did not do any of this. They did not do any of this. As this article commented, the idea that China airdropped food supplies to Gaza is baseless. Now, how many views do you think these two TikToks together received? Together, they received over 30 million views. These two TikToks that you just saw, or to be exact, 30.7 million views. So altogether in this video, if we add up the views of all these TikToks that we watched that are complete lies, that equals to 32.5 million views. That is a crazy number. And by the way, most of these videos are from the past few weeks. Not, they're not been over the past few years. Most of these are from the past few weeks. So imagine the amount of lies the whole of TikTok has. Basically, as a general rule, it's probably best to not get your news from TikTok. Well, what did you think of this video? Leave your comments down below.